Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. I finally got on to do another live stream. It has been one of those weeks, and I thought it would be really cool to just kind of give you guys an update in terms of what's been going on since last week. A lot of you and I only sent this out to a very few people. So I'm glad that you got the invitation and you're able to join me here. But I just kind of wanted to share this with a smaller group of us, and I will post it so that everyone will be able to see it. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update in terms of what has been going on since last week when I had my mammogram. I did get my results, and then I wanted to come on and do just kind of a quick get ready with me, because I've gotten questions kind of in the past about just everyday makeup stuff, which is so weird to me because I don't do much of nothing. But we're gonna do that as well. So I hope that the lighting is working well. I have a new ring light, so hopefully you guys can see me well. Do pop in and comment and let me know if you're able to see me well. Also, I'm doing this feed on I'm doing it on a hotspot, on my hotspot. So hopefully you guys will be able to see everything really clearly. Come on, testify and tell about the goodness of Jesus. Hey, LaVon. Thank you, girl. Thank you. So yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna kind of jump in. This is like really informally. It's just us getting together. I feel like, you know, we're girlfriends and we can kind of chat about stuff, and we're just gonna have kind of a give and take. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's okay with y'all, because I do consider you guys to be family, all right? So, before I get started, I'm just going to talk about what I've done to my face so far. So, I did do like my foundation, and I did a little bit of contouring, and it's summertime, it's really hot, and so I just like to use a very little bit of makeup. Hey, Lil Love Life, welcome to our live stream, I guess, from the UK. I'm so glad you tuned in. Thank you for joining us today, girl. I really appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who's on. Do say hey in the comments. Say hi to one another. Say hi to me. Don't be rude. But yeah, just say hi and let everybody know you're here. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. And just so I know if you guys like this format of video, if you like get ready with me videos, if you like the live streaming, it just helps me to kind of figure out what works best for everyone. All right. So I did put a little bit of makeup on my face in terms of foundation, because I just like to even everything out. Hey sis, hey Curly DZN, you are welcome for the invitation. Hey Martha, thank you. I'm glad you liked the video. Yeah, you know, I said that I wanted this to be just kind of a smaller group, because, you know, when I do these live streams, a lot of times we talk about real issues, especially recently. Because we all have those moments in our lives where we're going through stuff, and we don't want to feel like we're the only ones going through it. I specifically don't want other people to think they're the only one going through these challenges. So I try to be as transparent with you guys as possible. And hey D, how are you, hon? You are welcome for the invite. Y'all don't have to thank me. Stop it. We family. Anyway. It's like, you know, you have those folks who can come on over to your house. They don't need an invitation, you know. Well, it might not be too many of those people. But you guys know what I mean. So, yeah, you are quite welcome. All right. So, hey, Dib Simmons. Hey, Sunset. Oh, you're beautiful yourself. You are beautiful yourself. So, thank you guys for joining me. And I'm going to try to stay focused, because y'all know I can talk. I can ramble sometimes, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But I'm going to give you guys, like I said, an update, because I know a few more people have come in the last couple of minutes. So I just want you to know I'm going to do a quick kind of get ready with me. I've already begun, actually, but I knew some folks had asked about things that I use kind of on a daily basis. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to share it, just kind of do makeup stuff, and then give you guys an update on my mammogram situation from last week. So I'm just going to tell you what I've already put on my face. So I've done all my skincare stuff. I have videos to show you with you guys what I put on my face for a video or for hydration and skincare and stuff like that. So I did all that, and then I used I have oily skin, so I used my mattifying primer. This one is Makeup Forever. I'm not gonna go through I don't expect you guys, you know, to write everything down because you may or may not be interested, but I will put it in the information section beneath this video in case you see something you like. All right, then I have oily skin. So I bought this by NYX. I got it at Ulta because in the summertime, your pores can become enlarged because of the humidity and because of the heat. They become overactive in the summertime because the heat is sending signals to your body that you might be dehydrated. So if you notice that you have oily skin, but you get oilier in the summer, that's why. So you have to like drink water to stay hydrated, but then also you want to use like a mattifying primer. And then I have been using like a pore filler because these pores been like this. And that works really well. And I think it was only like $5 or $6. So I use the Makeup Forever Step 1 to keep my skin, you know, matte. And then I use the pore filler. After that, I use my Laura Mercier. This is, okay, Little Love Life for sure, girl. Don't mind the thumbnail. My hair is styled just like yours. Oh, cool, girl. You know, girl, you ain't got to say don't mind the thumbnail. You beautiful. But I use the Laura Mercier. I like it because it's really light. It has a very natural finish. You can see your skin beneath it. I have like little freckles and moles and stuff like that. And I like to see my skin under anything I use. And then I use, because I've been getting fat and I feel like my face looks like an egg sometimes, I use this. I got this. It is a, it's one of those contour palettes. It's from Sephora. And it's much less expensive than the ones I have seen like Anastasia Beverly Hills and stuff like that. It's much more expensive. To me, they are much more expensive. So I like this one because, I don't know, I think it was like $25 only. And those colors work in the summer and year round. So I did that, and I did a little bit of contouring so I could add some shapes and angles to my face and so I wouldn't look like an egg because, you know, I got some weight to lose. And then on my brows, because I do have oily skin and it's just difficult to get brow stuff that stays in place all day. I don't like to be messing with my skin over and over again. So you guys know I've used this for years. So I just use the Becca Shadow and Light Brow Contour Mousse, and I like it because it does stay in place all day after it is set. So even if you have oily skin and your makeup like wants to oxidize and lift up, this doesn't do that. It'll stay in place all day. So that's what I like. So that's all I've really done so far. So now I'm just going to do my eyes and I'm going to give you guys the update. But to do it, I'm going to use my Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I love this palette. This is like my favorite palette of all time. I use it like almost every day. If I could only have one palette, it would probably be this one. Mostly because it has these great like in-between shades that are close to our skin color. So they're great like transition shades. So I like to use them. All right, so I'm just going to go in. I'll show you guys what I'm using. This isn't a tutorial per se, but I want to be doing stuff and not telling you all like what I'm doing. All right, so those of you who saw, I'm going into Raw Sienna where I have like almost none left. That goes to show how much I use this. But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to use it as like a transition shade for my makeup. All right, so those of you who have been watching the channel, you know, last week I did go in and I went and had my mammogram done. And it was kind of a moment of like victory because I have been afraid to go have mammograms done for a very long time because of my like family history of cancer in my family. So I was like really nervous. Normally when I have my mammograms, I did a video. I took you guys with me kind of when I went, and so you got to see like the you know, the moment I kind of walked out of the facility. And you know, was kind of overwhelmed with emotions because, again, like I said, it's kind of a traumatic experience for me to do that. So in any event, I went ahead and I had it done. And this was like the first time I didn't cry. So because I usually like break down in my mammograms because, you know, I have my mom who passed away from cancer, my aunt has had breast cancer. She actually had it in both breasts, so she had it twice. She had it once when she was like 33, and then the second time like in her mid to late 30s. And then my mom lost her mother to cancer when my mom was only 5 years old. So and then my mom died at a very young age. She was had just turned 49. She got breast cancer when she was my age, 46. So for a long time, it had just been frightening for me to do that because for a long time, I kind of felt like I wasn't going to see my daughter become a woman. I thought like I didn't have any other choice but to, oh my gosh, fear is so crazy. But, you know, I felt like I didn't have any other choice, but this is just going to be my destiny. And, you know, I was going to die before I was, you know, I thought I probably wouldn't even make it to 40, but look at God. I just had my 46th birthday, and yeah, so in any event, I did go, I've been having some other health issues, so I had gone to the doctor, and he was like, okay, I need you to go have a mammogram because I need you to rule some things out. You said, I just had mine done last month. It can be a little scary. You know, it can be scary, I think, in general, because you just never know how those tests are going to come out. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. You are so right. It can be a little scary. And then when you add on it, like all the stuff we add, like just from being human and, you know, that fear component about having, you know, a family history of cancer, especially. Guys, none of the women in my family have lived beyond their 49th birthday, with the exception of my aunt. And I really think that she's only, I hate to say this, it's going to sound so bad, but I kind of think she's still around because God is still working on her and he don't want to take her before he can snatch her up and bring her there. She's so ornery and just, oh my gosh. But yeah, she's the only one. The only woman. My grandmother died when she was 43. My mom was 5. My cousin died when she was 49. That's my aunt's daughter. She and I are first cousins. And she had cancer. She had a tumor in her spine for years. And then it, you know, took her, and prior to that, she was also a smoker. Prior to that, she had had a tumor like in her throat or something like that, when she was in her late 20s. And then of course, my mom was first diagnosed with breast cancer when she was 46, and then she passed away like a month after her 49th birthday. So yeah, it can definitely be scary. And when you add all those other issues, you know, or components, you know, to the picture, around, you know, what's happening in your family, genetics, predisposition to stuff, it can be easy. Like for me, for years, guys, like probably about 5 years, I felt like I was just, you know, going through the motions in life because I felt like it was just my destiny. I wasn't going to live, you know, a long life, and life is not guaranteed anyway. But it's something about like your mortality coming face to face with the realization that, you know, your mortality is real, that for me just kind of changed things. So when I go to have mammograms, it's always very concerning because I feel like, yeah, there's history, girl. So what are you doing differently to make sure? Okay, that's a great question, Curly. So one of the things that, okay, so after my mom died, guys, you know, we family, we can talk about this. I'm about to go in with this color. This is burnt orange, and that's just because I want to add a little bit of depth and still keep everything very natural, but it just makes the eye area look a little warm. Y'all see how I look washed out? Child, I be trying to bring some warmth and some color to this complexion. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the burnt orange. And then I'm going to go into the Cypress Umber color, which is such a pretty brown. All right. Okay. So, so when my mom was on her deathbed, guys, she said to me, and I'll tell you this because some of you guys may not know, my mother was, when her cancer came back, she was misdiagnosed. They told her that she had arthritis, but really it was bone cancer. And they just hadn't done the test to determine that it was bone cancer. So eventually she was properly diagnosed, and then she passed away 2 weeks after that diagnosis. And it was horrible, guys. It was, I don't know, I'm not even going down that road, just thinking about that and going back to that. But just watching her during those times, it was, Lord, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, to watch your parent go through that kind of pain and the trauma. And you know, if you've had like a tumor on your liver, can you imagine what that does to the rest of your organs, your ability to breathe? It is just bad, guys. In any event, when she was on her deathbed, my mom said to me, don't do what I did. She said, don't do what I did. And I don't know how coherent my mother was, because at that point she was like on a lot of medication to give her comfort around her pain, because, you know, we knew that she, you know, it was very, very unlikely that she would make it. Oh, child. So, you know, one of the things that I did, one of the things I was doing at the time, which, okay, so when I drove home the morning after my mother passed away, I used to wear acrylic nails. I had 2 nails that completely broke off. Now, I never had acrylic or gel nail. You know, they may have been gel, because I think I started off with acrylic and then I went to gel nails. And I knew that, you know, having that stuff like on your fingertips could be, you know, questionable. They say that, you know, you can have some risk of cancer, that kind of stuff. But I took that as a sign that I wasn't supposed to do that anymore. So one of the things I did was I stopped using acrylic or having acrylic nails or gel overlay on my nails, because that does go right into your bone, because that's what our nails are essentially. So I stopped doing that. But then also I began to shop differently. So, you know, the first thing was I went to Whole Foods. That was like the only organic food store at the time. And I became really educated about what was in my food. So I began to like read food labels much more often. And I began to teach my daughter to do that as well. Read food labels so that she would understand what was in the food she was eating. So I began to do that, and definitely my diet changed. I began incorporating more fruits and vegetables, things like that. And you know, I was very strict about it for probably the first 7 or so years. And then I became a little bit less strict about it. I mean, I was still very conscious of what was in my food, you know, but I allowed myself to enjoy a little something here, you know, here and there that didn't necessarily fall into the realm of what I would normally eat. So I did that. I began to exercise more, and I tried to keep carcinogens out of my my diet as much as possible, right? And also with regard to my skincare, with regard to my hair care, all of those things. I began to do that differently as well. Probably one of the most dramatic things I did that y'all would probably be like, okay, you doing a little too much. But one of the things I did, y'all, was I threw away my microwave. I stopped nuking my food because, first of all, I didn't like the fact that, you know, at that time there were a lot of reports. I don't know what they say now, but at that time there were a lot of reports that really you diminish the nutrient content of your food when you nuke it. So yeah, I got rid of my microwave. I still don't have a microwave. I haven't had a microwave in probably, I don't know, 10 or 15 years. So I start to cook everything. So rather than nuking stuff, with which, you know, if you have a young child, you know that is more than an ocean. But that's what I did. So those were some of the changes that I made. Even today, I'm still growing in terms of some of the changes I made. So like over the last 4 years, I started adding, you know, like spices and other ingredients to my food that had like antioxidants and that were known to fight cancer. So So one of them is like turmeric. I began adding turmeric to my diet, and, you know, just cooking with herbs and you eating food that would help me to keep as, you know, as healthy as possible, and try to fight my exposure to cancer, or that would fight cancer causing cells, incorporating those kind of things in my diet. So one thing I have fallen off on though is the exercising. Ooh, child. I have to get back in the gym. I definitely do. Because one of the things that they say is that having extra weight contributes greatly to the chances of causing disease in your body. So I used to be an avid, like I used to work out all the time. And then, you know, life happens, and then sometimes you get away from that, and that's kind of what happened to me. So I'm kind of on this struggle in road really to getting back, you know, in the gym. But those are some of the things that I changed as a result of my mother's kind of, you know, deathbed wish that I, you know, that I not do what she did. And I think a lot of it for her was around diet, and it was around health and just knowledge. So I don't know if you all can see how this is kind of shaping up, and I have what they call hooded eyes. So I have to create like a crease and depth around the eye because of that. So that's what I'm doing if you all are trying to figure out what I'm doing. Hey, Brand, you said you love my channel. Oh, I love you too. Gosh, you know, I love this community so very much that we've created here, because, you know, we're just kind of there for each other. I mean, it's all about hair and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, you guys give me so much support and love, and you allow me to pour out and just share what I can share, you know, with you guys, whether it's about hair or whether it's about what I'm learning, whether it's about what I'm going through, that kind of thing. So anyway, I got off track about the mammogram. So last week I did go, but again, Brent, thank you for your love, and thank you for that comment. So I went ahead and I had my mammogram last week, and I was so glad that I was able to go through a mammogram for the very first time, I think, since I began taking mammograms. So because of my family history, my doctors put me on a schedule to have a mammogram every year since I was about in my early 30s. My mom passed when I was 30 years old. And so they put me on a schedule to have it every year. And every year I was crying. The last couple of years, and not even a couple of years, I'm not going to even lie, several years, guys, because of my health insurance situation, I didn't go get a mammogram. And I'm not going to just put it on that, because really, if I had to bite the bullet and, you know, pay the full cost of a mammogram or work with my dad or family, like your health, I compromise my health. Okay, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna own that. I took a risk by not having my mammograms and my what do you call it, checkups, just general checkups on a yearly basis for several years. I have to own that. But not having insurance does make it more difficult and more complicated. I will say that. But at the end of the day, I do believe we have to take personal responsibility for our health. And so that is something that will never happen again. I promised myself it will never happen again. Because I want to be here for the people around me, and, you know, who I love. And, you know, hey, Mandy. Hey, Curly, you said my mom passed from Parkinson's disease, 17 years with it. Her heart gave out in 2013, 6 days before. Oh my gosh, how did that happen? Look at this. Oh goodness, I can't see. I can't see. Oh, I couldn't see your comment. Hopefully it'll come back up. Let me see if I can. I'm still figuring out. Here we go. Okay, my mom passed away 6 days before I got married. She was 64. She was my best friend. I'm so sorry to hear that. Bryn, oh, you know, that's hard. That is hard. But you know she was there with you in spirit for such a special day. You know she was. Bryn said, had my mammogram Tuesday and now I have to go back. They say it came back fine, but I still have lumps, so I requested for a second one. That's right. You go, girl. Thank you. Look at me. I'm like, you go, girl. But I'm glad you went back. If you feel something lumpy, if something doesn't feel right, yes, make them look at it again. Make them look at it again. I'm so glad to hear that. And do keep me posted over on Facebook maybe and let me know how it came out. Hey, Mandy. Love you too, girl. All right, so I had my mammogram. I got my results a couple of days ago. And for those of you who follow me on Facebook, you guys already know I did receive a letter saying that I needed to go back. And there was an area of question is what they said. And so they need me to go back for what do they call it? It's not a sonogram. Where's my letter? For ultrasound. And then also I might have to have an MRI or and I have to have potentially some other type of screening so that they can, you know, check out what's what. So let me tell you what happened. I had come in from work and I got the mail, and I was actually talking to Eric. You guys have seen him on the channel. I was talking with him on the phone, and I saw the letter for my insurance from my insurance carrier, and I was like, oh, maybe it's like a receipt or something like that. I don't know. I knew that my test results were going to be mailed to me, but I just, for some reason, I don't know, I just had a blind spot around the fact that it could be my test results. So it ended up being my test results, and that's what it said. We need you to come in, make an appointment immediately to have further testing done. And my heart sank, y'all. It sank. And it was so funny because Eric could tell like something was wrong over the phone. And it was just like, I needed a minute. And, you know, he was trying to keep me, like, I told him what happened, and he was trying to keep me positive and, like, you know, upbeat. Well, we just going to pray for a good, you know, result. And, you know, we're claiming that and all that kind of stuff, which I appreciated. But I just needed a moment. You know what I'm saying? I needed a moment to receive that news. And it was hard. It was hard. I think I was in shock at first, and then I just started crying. I did. I cried on and off for probably a couple of hours. And I posted to you guys on Facebook to let you guys know that I had received my results, and they weren't what I hoped. And I let you guys know over on my Facebook page that I just needed your energy, you know, your positive thoughts and your support. And you guys just, like, those of you who were over there with me on my Facebook page, you all just, like, came through. You all were sending me Bible verses and everything. And it just really, it made all the difference, because it just helped to give me peace. Because it's not like, here's the thing. I wasn't crying because I could potentially have something serious going on. I started crying because I just started thinking about the fact that I was going to have to tell my daughter about this result. I started crying because I thought about if it is something, how it could impact my dad. I really don't want to put my dad through this again. Like, I never told you guys how my mom's death impacted him. My parents have been together since high school. And my mother received her diagnosis, and they had told her and my dad, you know, what the prognosis was, and it wasn't good. It was like she had a 20% chance, maybe a 30% chance. It was low. And my father didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell me. I didn't find out my mom's true diagnosis until like a few days before she actually passed away. And my dad, he just, man, he could not handle it. And so, you know, my mom had to be hospitalized, you know, obviously. And, you know, they were like, you know, she's not going to be coming home. You know, what are the resuscitation wishes of the family? And my dad, like, couldn't handle that. And all of a sudden, I went to see him one day at the hospital, and it looked like part of his face had shifted or something. And I was like, Daddy, are you okay? 'Cause I honestly thought he was having a stroke. And I mentioned it to my mother, and I mentioned it to my mother because I didn't know she was as sick as she was because he didn't tell me. I thought she was going to be fine. She was just going to have some chemo treatments, and, you know, we were going to go through the whole cycle that we did before. And so she said, yeah, she noticed it too. And she told him that once he left the hospital, actually, while he was there, he needed to make an appointment to leave the hospital and go see his doctor because she noticed that his face looked like it had fallen on one side. And it turned out that, like, that was on a Monday. On that prior Saturday, they had asked him what the resuscitation wishes of the family were because they had had a conversation with him about the fact that she was not going to recover from this. So that stress caused him to have an episode of what's called Bell's palsy, and that's where part of your face becomes paralyzed. And he told us, you know, because we had both asked him on that Monday, like, are you okay? What's going on? And he's like, oh yeah, I just got some soap in my eye. You know how men are. And so, but that's ultimately what it was. And he would not accept that she wasn't coming home, guys. He, like, before she was hospitalized, he went all over the city of Chicago. He was like, we're going to renovate the house for you. We're going to get this done. You're going to pick out all the tiles, you know, stuff like that. And he would literally drive all over the Chicagoland area to find tile that she could, you know, pick out and paint colors and other materials and bring them back home. He would buy some, bring them back home for her to fill out and then go, you know, back to the store because, you know, he wanted to do this renovation to happen for her. And then once she got in the hospital, he had like relatives coming while we were at the hospital, and, you know, they had to have shifts at the house while the staff, the construction folks were there doing renovations on the house, y'all. He had me and some of my cousins helping with moving furniture from one room to another, all this stuff, because he wanted the house prepared for when she came home. Knowing all this time, they were telling her, she's not going to come home. He couldn't accept it. And I just thought, you know, he was in love. You know, that's painful to see someone you love at a point where they're passing away, you know, they're sick and going to pass away. And I know that he could not handle that. And so I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to be the person who puts my dad through that again, you know. So yeah, it was just crazy. Anyway, I'm just rambling anyway. So when I was crying, I was thinking about that. I don't want to do that to him. I don't want to do that to my mother. I mean, I don't want to do that to my daughter. And it just always seems really unfair to me that the people who are closest to you are the ones that get hurt the most by situations, you know, like this. And I just didn't want to be the person or the thing that was causing them, you know, pain. And truth be told, I actually didn't even date a long time after my mother got sick. One of the reasons was I didn't want anybody to love me like that. Seeing what my dad went through, he didn't know what to do with himself, y'all. So, I mean, like, I didn't even date for probably about 4 or 5 years because I was like, I don't want to be the one that causes someone that kind of pain that I watched my dad go through. And so I would just rather not be in a situation or relationship where a man loved me that much, because I don't want to be the source of anybody's pain. So, you know, there's a lot of stuff that comes along with this whole cancer thing. And fear, again, bringing it back to fear. There are a lot of things that, it's a journey. So there are lots of things that you have to overcome as a part of that journey. So I hope that my sharing, sorry guys, I'm trying to plug my charger in my phone. Okay. So there are, you know, just a lot of things that I don't think people necessarily think about when we're going through these kinds of things. So hopefully this is like a platform where we can kind of talk about some of these things and we can work them through. So eventually I got to a place where I realized that I'm worthy of love. And I had a good friend say to me, LaDon, you know, you keeping yourself from someone who is, you know, going to fall in love with you or going to love you is not fair to them. It's not only not fair to you, but it isn't fair to them. So you have to think about the fact that you're not only impacting your life because you're not living a fuller life, but you're preventing someone else from experiencing the fullness of their own life. And that was the thing that made me think, okay, maybe I'll start dating again. And I did. And y'all know dating is interesting anyway. But yeah, so I got my mammogram results and I do have to go back. I will be going back on Wednesday to have further testing done. And my daughter is going to go with me. So that night I did tell her about the results and she was pretty positive about it, which has been great because it helps me to be a little more positive about it. So she's like, okay, well, we just gonna go and you gonna have it done. When you going? And so I really appreciated that because we want to be strong all the time, but sometimes we're not. And a lot of times people expect that, you know, because we are a strong person, like I'm the person that people come to talk about, you know, the challenges they're experiencing. And a lot of times people don't check in on you because they figure, oh, you okay? You good? And sometimes we ain't good. Sometimes we're not, you know, so people have to, y'all need to check in on the sister. No, not you all, but you know what I'm saying. If you do have people in your life who, you know, is known as being that person that's always really strong, and just remember that we all have vulnerabilities. We all have vulnerabilities. We all have moments. And, you know, check in on them to make sure they're okay. Because I guarantee you they're probably not. And everybody's thinking the same thing. You know, she good. She all right. Or he's good. He's all right. You know, so yeah, that's the deal with that. One thing that I'm really, really grateful for is that I have a very supportive boss at work because one of the challenges I have, well, I told you guys I hadn't been taking care of myself in terms of going to the doctor and having my yearly checkups done and stuff like that. And my boss really got on me about that. She was just like, that's not acceptable. That she's so funny. She's just like, it's not acceptable. And I really appreciated her kind of getting on me like that. She's like, how can you take care of everybody around you but yourself? She's like, you must not want to see your grandkids. And she's one of those people, she will tell you how she means it. She actually reminds me of my mom in many ways. But she's like, it's just not acceptable. So, you know, I need for you to, this is a gel eyeliner by Inglot. I recently got it. Those of you who followed me on my trip to New York, when I took Miora there for her birthday last December, you guys know we went to the Inglot store there in Times Square, and they didn't have any of this gel. I've heard so much about this gel eyeliner. Y'all see how I just completely went to something else that quick? I'm gonna get back on track. But I love this gel so much. If you have oily skin and you have oily lids like I do, you will love this because it will not run because your skin is oily. If you sweat a lot and you know you have eyeliner that runs or something like that, it will not run. Once you put it in, you have like a few minutes to kind of play around with it and move it around, and then after that it sets and it stays in place all day. I love this stuff. This is like the best gel ever. Marshall Fields carries it, and I think you get it online. I'm gonna see if I can find a link to it, but it is $15, and let me tell you what, it's worth every bit of that $15 because you use so little of it, and it's so vibrant. Very pretty. Now let's see if I can get these things even. But yeah, so, you know, I really appreciate my boss because, you know, of course she's supportive of me taking care of myself. We all know that we can have bosses who could care less about us, right, and our health. But, you know, she's like, you need to be off for as long as you need to be. You need to be going to every appointment, and don't let me find out you're not, because you might not have a job. That's how she is. She didn't say that, but she's just like, you know, I appreciate you and I appreciate, you know, the work you do here. You know, she gives me so many kudos for my work with youth. But she's like, you know, you can't be good for anybody if you're not being good and being there for yourself. So you need to take care of yourself. And that is an expectation I have of you. So I appreciated that. All right, so that's the Inglot, and then this is just a regular basic kind of makeup look. The other thing, here's another eyeliner. If you have oily skin, or you wear eyeliner and it like in the summertime disappears on you, there is another one by Bare Minerals that is my favorite. I've been using this liner for probably, how many years? 4 or 5 years. It is amazing. So I'm just going to put that in. And one tip, do not pull down like this. Push in. And then the bottom of your, you know, eye will plump out so then you can line the eye. You don't want to pull it because then that's going to cause you to get wrinkles. And we don't want wrinkles. All right, so now I got to warm up my face a little bit. And so I'm going to use this. This is a bronzer by Makeup Forever that I absolutely love. I'm going to have to use this brush because I don't have my other one. But yeah, it is, here, let's see. This is kind of the color, and I like it because it looks very natural on the skin. It doesn't leave like a lot of texture on the skin or anything of that nature. And it just helps to warm up my skin. You know, I don't like the fact that I get, you know, can be real pale. I like to have a warmer complexion. So I like to use bronzers and stuff like that to kind of help with that. But yeah, it's really great to have a supportive boss, man, who's not going to make you feel guilty for taking time off to take care of yourself. You know, whether it's, you know, busy in the office or whether it isn't busy in the office. You know, some bosses can be so self-centered about your health, you know, and so it was just really refreshing to have her come at me like, have her come at me like that. And I haven't worked for anyone else. Like, I have been an entrepreneur for almost 10 years. So, it's kind of a transition to be working for someone else, but I really do like it. I like working for her. I like working for her. I'm gonna use a little bit of highlight, and this is probably the last thing I'm gonna use on my face. This is by Laura Geller. This is such a great bargain. You get 3 highlighters in here, and they're gorgeous. This one would say Ballerina. It's more bronzy. And actually, Ballerina is the one Natural 85 likes to use. I saw it in one of her videos a while back, and so I wanted to try it. But I like this because you could try 3 highlighters at the same time with just one product. And this was only like $25. So, and they're good sized products, and you only need a little bit. So this is Ballerina. This is Gilded Honey. This is the color everybody likes. And then this one is Peach Glow. So what I like to do is kind of mix the colors. For summer, I like mixing Ballerina and Gilded Honey together. And I just put that like on the tops of my cheeks a little bit. So I'll just, usually I use a brush, but I'm going to be using my brush for something else in a minute. So I just take a little bit of the Ballerina and then a little bit of the Gilded Honey. And then I just kind of pat it on here. Hi, honey. Miora is over here. Oh, she's taking her braids out. We didn't show them your braids when you had them in.
Oops.
Next time.
Is this a video?
It's a live stream.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not going on camera.
You could also use your fingers to kind of work it in. And see, it's a nice, natural kind of highlight.
Here? Oh, good.
It's very natural. So this is kind of how I get that natural looking makeup, glowy look during the summertime. And then I also like to take a little bit and just put it in here. If you get like dark circles under your eyes, or you get like a sunken in kind of thing going, you can also put it in there a little bit. And then another area you could put it is here if you want. I don't always do that, but I'll do it just so you guys can see what it looks like there. Ooh, child, look at that glow. So next week, so let me tell you, it has taken me a few days to manage the emotion of it all, and a little bit of the fear, although I haven't been as fearful about it as I thought I would. I'm just partially because, you know what, worrying. Okay, so I have a saying that says, if you're going to do all that worrying, why do all that praying? And if you're going to do all that praying, why do all that worrying? So, you know, I have prayed on it. I had my moment with it, and I'm giving it to God. And I know that through him, I can handle anything life brings my way, and that, you know, he's going to get the glory out of it anyway. So I'm good. That don't mean I'm not going to have a moment in the midnight hour. It's not going to mean, you know, it doesn't mean that. But I feel like I'm in a good place to handle, you know, it at, you know, at this moment. So we're going to see what happens, you know, on Wednesday. I'm sure Tuesday night, I'm going to be like, you know, I may have a moment. Who knows? But you know what? It's okay to have that moment. You know, one of the things that bothers me sometimes is when we sometimes, as people of faith, are like, we condemn people a little bit, or sometimes, and not all of us, some of us condemn people because they have their valley moment, or their human, you know, feelings around emotionally dealing with a situation. You know, God gave us emotions, right? And he knew that we would be vulnerable to them. And so it's okay to have a moment of, you know, I think it is, to have a moment of despair, or, you know, to feel the impact of that moment, right? As we are all humans. The thing is, we just can't get stuck in that moment. And so when people say, well, if you had faith, you wouldn't blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we can have faith, but my goodness, God knows our frailties. He knows that we can, it's okay to have a moment. Let a sister or a brother have a moment. It doesn't mean they don't love God. It doesn't mean that they don't have faith. It's just they are feeling vulnerable. As we were created to feel in some moments. But do we connect to our source? Are we getting caught up and lost in that moment? Then it's like, okay, you really have to minister to someone who's having that moment, because you don't want them to get stuck there. But still, I just think we have to be careful when we condemn people. And that's why I love you guys so much, because you guys are like, y'all gonna send me some Bible verses in a minute. And that's exactly what you did. You sent me some Bible verses in a minute. You didn't judge me for having a moment where, like I told you guys, I was in shambles for a moment. You didn't judge me. You supported me. That's what we're called to do. That's what we're called to do. Because what happens is this is a lip pencil I got from the beauty supply store. This is the Kiss brand, and it is called, I love this liner. It's waterproof and highly pigmented. I'm trying to find and it's called Roasted Coffee. Really pretty. But that's what I love about you guys, because you didn't make me feel judged or anything like that. And I think one of the reasons that people stay away from, church folks or Christians or however they categorize it, is because a lot of times they say they feel judged when they're having a difficult time. And we don't want to judge them. We want to minister to them. And then help them to feel that they're not alone. Because when we are not encountering them or embracing them in love, it will make it more difficult. I'm not saying that we don't admonish people, because sometimes that is, a part of the process, right? But if I'm in pain, don't, for instance, if someone was in pain, had abdominal pain, they were in some kind of physical pain, you would say, oh, you need to go to the doctor. Get to the doctor. It's okay. I understand. Oh, what can I do? What can I do for you? But if it is spiritual or it is mental or it is emotional, people are like, you just ain't got no faith. Or you gonna be all right. And that kind of thing. And the truth is, yes, they're going to be all right, but they have to get to that place, right? And so we have to be empathetic towards them and not make them feel worse, because the thing is, they're going to hide that pain rather than sharing it and allowing someone to share a testimonial with them, let them know that they've been in that place, they understand, but sister, you're going to get through it. It, creates a barrier to ministry when we handle it that other way. And I'm sorry, I'm getting all up in this, but the reason I'm saying this is because I appreciate you guys for, letting me know, hey, you need us to pray, we're praying, sharing biblical verses with me and that kind of thing, because it meant everything. Like, I felt so much better within just a couple of hours. After reading you guys, the comments you left, the verses you put down there, I was all up in my Bible, reading those verses and then the adjacent verses as well as other ones. So I just want you guys to know that I really do love and appreciate you. And you guys really helped me when I was in the midst of that news last week. I can't see any of you all's comments. So I don't know if you're leaving them or not. Y'all are quiet as church mice. I have seen some comments come up, but I know sometimes I don't see them on my phone. Okay, so I've done this. I don't know why I spent so long lining my lips, but I'm trying to think what lipstick I want to use. So this is this really pretty, one of the lipsticks I am totally obsessed with right now. And it's more like maybe a line of lipsticks, is by, who are these? Colored Raine, y'all. Oh my gosh. I love just about every lipstick I have purchased from them. But I'm going to try this one. It's a bit of a cooler color, but I'm going to put it on just to see what it looks like with this. Nice. One of the things I love about this lipstick is that you don't have to put, like, keep putting it on, keep putting it on, keep putting it on. You get like a nice even color, like with the first swipe of it. I think this is really pretty. And so what I want to do is just lighten it up a teeny bit. So I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. And then I'm trying to decide which one of these I'm going to put in the middle of it, because I like to do like an ombre kind of effect. So I think I'm going to use this one. This is by NYX. This is part of their lip lingerie colors. Should I use this? Well, let's try it. Let's see. We gonna see. Yeah, but I love, oh my gosh, Colored Raine is Black owned and great quality product. Oh, I don't think this does it justice. This is so pretty. I want it just a tad bit lighter. I'm gonna use this. Yeah. This color is by Milani. Smells so good. And it smells like bubble gum. This is Dulce Carmelo, and is this one of their matte colors? It's like $6. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's matte or not, but yeah. So this is it. Took me much longer to do this because I was talking. Maybe I'll try. Okay, so I got this new blush. I don't do a lot of blushes, but this color is so pretty. Let me see. Maybe I'll put this on. Yeah, I feel like this goes. I'm trying to do like a monochromatic, very natural sort of look. So I'm just going to take this brush. This is by Crown Brushes, and this is like a natural hair brush. So when you use a natural hair brush, it actually gives you a lighter, more sheer coverage than if you use like, you know, like a synthetic hairbrush. So that's why I'm just going to use that, and I'm just going to tap it in here real quick. And then I'm just going to put it on just to make this look even more natural and really blend in. Yeah. Give me a little bit more of a glow and warm up my complexion a little bit more, y'all. I need some sun. I need some sun. And sometimes I'll take a little and kind of put it over here. And that is it. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Oh, I can do this now. For the longest time, my screen would not let me zoom in and zoom out. But yeah, so this is the look. As you can see, the makeup looks really natural. This actually looks like my skin. A lot of times I'll take like something and spritz my face just to kind of refresh the skin. And if you find that because you have oily skin, you've used a lot of powder and your face looks like a little powdery, you can spray it and it'll make it look really, really nice and natural. But I don't need to do that, I don't think. I think it's really, really pretty. and very natural. Yay! So I hope you guys liked this talk. This is so long, but I want to thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I will be giving you an update following my tests next week. I'll also be doing a video, a 3-strand twist video. You guys said you wanted to see that next. This is that wash and go that Eric did for me over the weekend. I have just been refreshing it. And so this is the Eco Styler Gel with Jamaican black castor oil. So yeah, I've just been adding a little bit of water to sections that, you know, got frizzy for one reason or another. And then I, you know, just kind of go through like that to bring a little bit of the definition back. But yeah, it has been hanging in there really, really beautifully. It's super soft. Nothing has flaked up on me. You know, like as you can see, like I'll go in here. The hair is still very clean, very shiny looking. I love that gel. I love that gel. I will tell you all, I'm going to do a wash and go where I show you guys the Eco Styler coconut oil gel. I'm not going to say anything about it yet, but I did try it last weekend and I have flakes all up in my hair. So one of the things I do know about that gel is that you have to be careful about what leave-in conditioner you use with it. But we'll see how it performs overall. I'm going to be uploading some hairstyling videos for Fine Natural Hair. If there is something in particular you guys would like to see, please do leave it in the comment section once this video goes live so I know. Because hey, that's why we're here. I want to create content that you guys are interested in and that you're looking for. But yeah, so that's it. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you so much for those of you who, oh my goodness, hung in here with me throughout this video. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kind words. Thank you guys for your emails. Thank you for your direct messages. You guys are totally amazing, and I'm so happy that we have created this little community here where we can connect with one another. When I say I love you, I don't take that lightly. I truly appreciate you guys so much, and I pray that I am, you know, providing to you guys just, you know, a fraction at least of what you've given to me. All right, so thank you guys again. I will see you soon. We're gonna get back on the schedule with our Sunday tutorials, live feed tutorials. Next week we're going to, should it be next week? Yeah. We talked about doing a butter party where we talk about how to use butters on fine natural hair effectively. So I think that we will go ahead and have that party either next Sunday or the Sunday after. You guys let me know because you may need time to get your favorite butters. And actually what I may do is suggest a few that work really well for fine natural hair. So I'll work on that kind of information over the next few days. And then I will put a post over on Facebook, and I'll also put a post on my Instagram as well, just so you guys have all of the details about our butter party. All right. Thank you guys again. I will talk with you soon. Mwah. Love you. Bye.